C.W.F. biography. Who is Rocky StarWind? Well, fictionally, the character, I like to say, is the first employee of C.W.F. The character was a character on a popular soap opera that Mr. Fantasy's daughter, Tina Fantasy, was very much obsessed with. That when the soap opera was canceled due to the events of, well, the show itself takes place in the 80s, so I'm going to say the soap opera was probably something similar to Dark Shadows, where it had a kind of a niche appeal, but was canceled after a certain amount of time. So Mr. Fantasy, deciding to start in C.W.F. at this time, ended up hiring Rocky StarWind as his really first employee. Yeah, and he is essentially a combination of the announcer from XPW, whose name escapes, from Wrestling Society X, whose name escapes me at the moment, Mean Gene Okerlund, a little bit of Bill Watts, definitely some Bill Mercer, and some Lance Russell thrown in. And probably a bit of Bobby Heenan and Joey Styles as well. And he's my attempt at trying to just bring something different. Most people, when they play the game, they play it on their streams and just kind of announce what happens. I try and make it as a bit of a story arc and throw in different events, kind of ad-lib things as I go through different things. And the whole Rocky StarWind thing actually came about name-wise because I was trying to leave some comments on a podcast, and for some reason, it wouldn't let me use the Bucky 749 name that I had been using. So I had to create another name. So I was thinking, what could I use? And the first thing that came to my mind was Rocco, because of Jeremy's love for Rocco's Modern Life. But it somehow changed that to Rocky. And then for some reason, the word StarWind came to mind, probably from the anime Outlaw Star. If you remember that one, the two main protagonists in that anime are Gene StarWind and Jim Hawkins. Which I kept wondering if whoever came up with that, I was a fan of Treasure Island, because that just seems like a very specific name. But overall, yeah, the character is my kind of combination of those concepts. So yeah, and I needed a way to make my CWF stand out from everyone else's. So Rocky StarWind CWF was kind of a nice way of making it different. And we do have some events coming up. Although the next two events that will be coming up will be independent stuff. We're going to have the Gary Hart Texas Trios Tournament, which will be independent. And then the Monster Mash are going to be our two events. Rocky StarWind will be there, but they aren't technically affiliated with CWF, as they're going to be independent events. And there is talk about James Mitchell adding some stuff, so there may be a CWF news flash, because he has been looking about, since the Prince Karis lost some stuff, lost Savoy Champion, the James Mitchell's been thinking about adding some additional members to his group. Maybe having Prince Karis go for the tag titles against the so-called James Gang. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. But yeah. So that was basically the CWF bio with a little extra info in there for you guys on Rocky StarWind. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you got to see another one of these, maybe one of the fictional teams or wrestlers in CWF. Until next time, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you're new. And I'll see you next time right here on Bucky 749.